Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. So before I get started, I just want to, if you're watching on Facebook, feel free to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram page is CMG Music. The username is MusicCMG. And if you're watching from IGTV or Instagram, you can follow me on Facebook as well. CMG Music Candace School. So today, what I wanted to talk about was practice, or I should say is practice. Practice. I am such a huge advocate for practicing, and I'm sure I speak for all instructors around the world when I say this. Practice is so important to a student's success. The most successful student will be the one that practices. The least successful student will be the one that doesn't practice. And as harsh or that reality may sound, it is true. And I guess it's not really meant to sound harsh. But if you want to be successful as a student, you got to practice. Just think about it when you're in school. You get homework in school and they want you to study. They want you to practice. You have a test coming up. The person that's going to get the best results, more than likely, is going to be the one that has practice, that has read over the material, that has went over, made the note cards, done everything they possibly could do to remember and retain the information. So it's really no different when it comes to learning a musical instrument, as your voice, for example, or the piano or guitar or whatever that musical instrument is. So practice is very, very important. I'm sure we've all heard of this saying, practice makes perfect, growing up. And perfect is always, a little objective to whatever perfect is for you. However, there is this quote that I like to use. This can be a little creepy sounding, but it is so true. It says that practice puts muscles in your brains. And it is so, so true. I like that saying because basically the more we do something, the more our bodies, our muscles are going to remember it, okay? I use this example a lot when I'm teaching. When you first learned how to walk as a baby, or a kid or a toddler, you had to kind of think about the process to get, okay, this foot goes in front of the other. That's why you were doing it slow. You were trying to really figure it out. But you don't have to think about it today. Because your muscles know exactly what to do. It's like brains in your muscles, right? Okay, so I'm just going to give you some tips that obviously there's probably a ton of other things that can be really helpful regarding practice, but hopefully these few tips you can find helpful. So the first thing I just want to mention is consistency. Consistency is so important to your success. When you practice, you must create a consistent schedule, a schedule that you can always do all the time. Not that life doesn't happen and you may not rear off of that schedule, but consistency is very important. The second thing is to spread your practices out. So if you know that for example, if you have, I have students that have done this before. Maybe we meet on Mondays and they haven't practiced all week, and we say that our goal is to practice at the minimum of 3 times per week, right? So they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, or darn, it's already Friday. So let me hurry and try to get a practice in Friday and Saturday. And then I'll get one in on Sunday. Now, not that it's bad that because they did practice 3 times a week. If they kept that schedule consistently, maybe their reality is that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is literally just the best days that they can practice. If that became a consistent thing, then it would definitely help, bring results. And I don't think I said that at the beginning. The reason why I advocate for practice is because practice brings results. Practice equals results. Practice equals progress. Okay? So if you want to see progress as a student or whatever it may be, that you are learning or you are doing or you want to get better at, you must practice. You have to spend time. You have to become acquainted with that thing or that concept, that skill. So practice, okay? It equals results. It equals progress. And I am all about progress when it comes to teaching. I'm all about progress. And this is why I advocate for practice. So back to the stretching out your practices throughout the week. There's 7 days in a week. So again, if they made those 3 days consistent, then yeah, super, it'll definitely be something that your brain will start to remember. However, the reason I say spread them out if you possibly can is because the more you revisit it throughout the week, the faster, the more your brain will start to remember what is happening, what it's doing. Whenever I'm learning something new vocally, and maybe a new vocal warm-up or exercise that I am learning for myself, or maybe one for me to teach a student, I will practice that every single time that I practice, and I practice maybe about 4 to 5 times per week. I will focus and make sure that I practice that particular thing. And then after I've learned it, I am going to include that into my rotation to improve that skill, to improve that exercise, to get better and better and better at it. There's normally never something that I'm learning that I feel like, oh, okay, I got that in the bag. I always have the mindset of I've got to get better at it. Okay, that's a whole nother video. Okay, so next is practice. Make your practices intentional. So know what you're going to do when you practice. Set up, just write some things down. Okay, I'm going to warm up for, do these particular warm-ups today, and then I'm going to do these exercises. This is what I'm listening for. This is what I'm doing this is what I'm intentionally working on when I'm doing this particular exercise. So make your practices intentional, and typically what I tell, especially for my voice students, include a song into your practice that you can apply those skills that you were working on. Okay. And when you're singing, be intentional. So intentionally add those things. Make a conscious effort to add those skills into your song. So don't get too caught up that you're not thinking about what you're doing and you're going into default mode where you are just doing what you normally do when you're singing, and that's not including those skills that you've been learning. So that leads me into the next thing. Singing around the house or just having a jam session isn't exactly practice. It can be a part of your practice if it is intentional. So for example, if I'm trying to learn a little bit more on the keys and all this fun stuff, if I am intentional about what I'm doing while I'm at that jam session, while I'm on the piano or organ, whatever it may be, if I'm intentional, okay, I'm trying to figure out what the key, I'm listening to okay, what key is this song in? Okay, I'm going to try to invert. Being intentional, that can be included in your practice. Just don't leave out the other important things like scales, arpeggios, learning how to invert, chords, minor chords, major chords, diminish, augmented. Don't leave out those things. Okay, that's basically what I'm saying. So yes, jam sessions, singing around the house, all those things can be intentional, but what I do suggest for my voice students is always spend time just you and your voice where you are focusing on particular skills. Because that is going to be key to your success too, as an artist, as a vocalist, as a musician, a pianist, okay? And then I want to say, when you're practicing, I think this is probably the last thing, when you're practicing, listen and look for your challenges and your victories and your successes. So the things that you do well and the things that you haven't done well. This will help you in determining the progress that you're making. It will also help you to know what things you need to work on to get better at, and what things you have reached a plateau, or maybe an area where I think I'm doing well on this. How can I add to that? So always look for the challenges and for the victories or the successes, the triumphs. Sorry about that. My dog's very protective. Whenever he hears noises. So I hope these tips have helped. There was something else before my dog barked that I was going to say. Listen for challenges. Oh, that's what I was going to say. If you do have a private instructor or somebody that you're kind of reporting to or that's helping you, go back to them and say, hey, I was practicing and I couldn't do this, or I was having trouble with this. That's also going to help you. So hopefully this video helped, but thank you so much for watching. Practice. My students know when they don't practice. I can tell when they don't practice, and I'm not very happy about it. I am not very happy about it, so they know you've got to practice. They will get that look. that look they don't like. And I don't personally like giving, but you know, for my younger students, I do create, like, have practice incentives, things to make it fun, practice fun, and keep them excited and motivated. But it's still, practice is super important. So if you have a student that needs to see this video, show them that practice, you need to practice. Practice, go home and practice, okay? Go home and practice, okay? Sometimes students listen better to other people than they do their own instructor, unfortunately, but practice. Thank you so much for watching. Please, again, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, like, comment, share the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, or you can send me a direct message on my Facebook page. Thank you so much, and God bless.